mga classmates, sir. I am the second reporter of the Group 7. I am originally Lastimoso. And today I will be able to tackle about the Article 249, which is the homicide. So let's define what is homicide. So, Article 249, which is homicide, or any person who not falling within the provisions of Article 246. So, in here, the person who committed a certain crime does not fall into the provisions of Article 246, which is the parricide. Shall kill another sort. There is a result of death without the attendance of any of the circumstances enumerated in the next preceding article. So, wala siya fall into the other articles or any preceding articles na those are justifiable into another crime. Shall be dead. Those who be then guilty of the homicide will be punished by reclusion temporal. Reclusion temporal is 12 years and 1 day to 20 years. What are the elements? That the person was killed, or there is a result of death. The accused killed without any justifying circumstances, so there is no justifying circumstances that will lead him to another commission of crime. So, there is no plan, wala siya cruelty, or etc. That the accused had the intention to kill, which is presumed. Not siya intended to kill, but is presumed. That the killing was not attended by any of the qualifying circumstances of the murder. So, wala siya fall into the qualifying circumstances which leads into murder or by that of parricide, neither in the infanticide. So, the victim is not a child or a father, a mother, or a spouse, or etc. So, there is no relationship between the accused or the accused and the victims. Shall kill another. In homicide, the victim must be killed and to consummate the crime. So, of course, there is a death. The person is killed, so para na siya matawag na crime. So, if the victim is not killed, if it is either attempted or frustrated homicide. So, of course, if hindi mo patay ang usa ka kuan, matawag siya attempted na buhat niyang crime but na wala niya na wala dahil namatay ang victim or sa frustrated homicide, mahimo niya tanan ng elements sa patso niya but due to the medical intervention, nabuhi ra ang yes. Intent to kill is conclusive presumed when death penalty. Death resulted rather. When death resulted, even if there is no intent to kill, the crime is homicide. So, despite na wala siya intention niya, pati niya o sa katao, but the reality na napatay niya o sa tao, then the crime is homicide. Not merely physical injuries. Hindi siya matawag sa physical injuries. It's because namatay man. Because with respect to crimes of personal violence, so in personal violence, it always tackles into the penal laws. The penal law looks particular to the material results. So, dili siya mag-depend sa whatever intention is, but mag-focus lang siya what is the outcome. So, unsa kabugaton ng outcome sa crime na imong na-committed. The lawful act holds the aggressor responsible, and any of your crime na mabuhat, there is a responsible or accountability na inyong katubangon. Intent to kill must be proved via reasonable doubt. So of course, there is a proof. We prove na niyo mga your intention ay walay intention or na ay intent to kill. So you have to be proved via reasonable doubt. Example: the accused pharmacist compounded and prepared the medicine or prescription by a doctor. The accused erroneously used the highly poisonous. So, nasayop niya, ang usap accused is ang pharmacist. Nahatag niya sa usiyang patient is poisonous. So, sayop ang iyang hatag nga kuan nga medicine. So, is the accused liable for frustrated homicide through reckless imprudence? So, let's see what is the answer. The answer is no. There is no offense of frustrated homicide through imprudence. But, the court ruled the pharmacist wasn't guilty of attempted murder through negligence, so they called negligence niya ang pagbuhat. Instead, the pharmacist was found guilty of causing physical injuries. Hindi man sa niya intention sa yung mahatag. So, na siya accountability or face no crime, but that is matapos sa physical injuries through negligence. The reason: attempted murder requires intent to kill. So, ang sa pharmacy sa atong pagkita na sa example, wala mo siya intention to kill, diba? So, which is incompatible with accidental harm. So, dili sa siya mga accidental harm and caused by negligence. So, dili siya mag-face lang siya into physical injuries sa certain victim. Another example, A shoots C with a pistol. So, si A, yan si C. And almost immediately after H A had shoot C. So, gipusil niya, B also shoot C. Pag pusil ni A kay C, gipusil po si B. Although wala na patay dayon ni A si C, but pag dayon pusil ko dayon si B, but from the moment nga kuan na sila duha ang inflex sa wood ni C. C was still alive when B shoot him. C died as a result of the wounds received. So tungod sa kabugat tungod sa dili niya makaya ang wounds na iyang nakuha gikan kay A and B. So acting from A and B, acting independently of each other. So who is liable for homicide? Kinsa man yung liable nila sa homicide? Si A ba or si B? So since either wound could cause the death of C, both are liable and each one of them is guilty of homicide. So both sila. Why? It's simply because sila man, although wala din napatay ni A C, but from the moment na both sila ni-inflict sa harm into C, so they are both liable. Same man sa kabukat na ilang i-face na consequences. So, contributing to the death of the victim is equally liable. Accidental homicide. What is accidental homicide? Is the death of a person brought about a lawful act performed with the proper care and skill and without homicide. And kaning accidental homicide, mostly, kaninang lawful lang siya, although mapatay man lang sa katao or may ma-injured lang sa katao, but from the moment na they were brought about by a lawful act performed. Like skill na proper care side or medical na before na i-undergo ako sa situation. So let's say for instance, in a boxing bout where the game is freely permitted, so it's a boxing bout, example ani, paano man sila diba, na sila dahil medical, skilled na sila dahil ani. So whatever the result is, if ang sabi for example sa boxing bout, mapatay ang usa ka player. So dili gyud po siya matawag na crime or ang bugat na crime. It will fall into the homicide, ay accidental homicide. It's because lawful man siya ma-act. As we all know, lawful man ang boxing po. So that is the example of accidental homicide. So what is corpus delicti in crimes against person? Corpus delicti in a modern sense determines the actual commission of the crime charge. Corpus delicti is not the body of the victim. It is the body of the crime. So unsabi cause and the origin with any crime na nahitabo. Corpus delicti means that the crime was actually perpetrated. So there is of course, the identity of an individual or the victims na naapod na matay din nakita ko na na-perpetrate or na-committed yun ako sa crime. At does not refer to the body of the murdered person. In all crimes against person in which the death of the victim is an element of the offense, so of course, in sa crimes against person, yun always you cannot remember na actually, ang best element or number one element is the body of the victim. There must be satisfactory evidence evidence that the fact of a death. So, kanayang mga medical examinations, and the identity of the victim. So, of course, dili na ito ma-ingon pag may tabo nga crime, dili na ito ma-identify din sa ang victim. So, next, the penalty for frustrated parricide, murder, or what are those penalties? In courts, in view of the facts of the case, may impose upon the person guilty of frustrated, crime of parricide, murder, or homicide, defined and penalized in the preceding articles. Penalty lower by 1 degree than which should be imposed under the provision. Courts impose a penalty 2 degrees lower of frustrated parricide, frustrated parricide or murder. The court may impose a penalty lower by 1 degree than that posed under Article 15. It provides that penalty that's lower in degree than the prescribed by law of the conjuring felony shall be imposed upon the principal in a frustrated felony. Hence, the court can impose as well a penalty 2 degrees lower in a view of facts of the case. There is permissive, not a mandatory. So there is only a choice, but not dili siya totally mandatory. Di siya nga ihatag or i-grant sa convicted individuals or as accused na or suspects. Courts may impose penalty 3 degrees lower for attempted parricide. So ang sa frustrated 2 degree lower, ang sa attempted lang is of course 3 degrees lower, mas mubo siya. The court can therefore impose a penalty deemed lower in a view of the facts of the case. So, it also depends sa facts or sa circumstances na ipakita if bugat na gud ang iyang cause and diligent nga nakatumit siya sa certain crime, meaning homicide, parricide, or murder. An attempt or a conspiracy against the life. So, but mag-differ lang siya sa if kunsa nga victim ang ilahang gi-inflictan na harm or kumitan na ng certain crimes such as parricide, murder, or homicide. And a person who shall attempt on or conspire against the life of the chief executive of the Republic of the Philippines, of any member of his family for his life. So, if ang victim is usa ka a chief executive or family sa chief executive, so bugat jud kay ang kaso, which is death penalty or shall suffer up kuan nga habang buhay na pagka-piso. Ito siya perpetua or death penalty. So, Article 251, which is the death, cost, and tumultuous affray. So, mga lang siya dili ma-identify dahil kinsa jud ang i-inflict aning certain nga harms or sa victim. When while several persons, so dili siya grupo, dili siya gud nga kilagid, several persons lang siya, not composing groups or dili gid siya organized group na daan for the purpose of coming. So wala sila i-purpose gid pod nga i-assault nila lang ang tao or wala sila plano gid ana. Attacking each other reciprocally, quarrel and assault each other in a confused and tumultuous manner. So kana mo kalibugan siya ba? Ano man ni kuan aning sa joy ni inflict aning harms sa victim. But the person, and it cannot be ascertained who killed the deceased, but the person inflicted serious physical injuries can be identified. Such a person or shall be punished with son mayor. So, but dili man siya ma-identify dayan. But from the moment na ma-identify nila kinsa inflict sa harms sa certain victims, then of course he or she will be liable for or be punished by prison mayor. If it cannot be determined who inflicted, so dili if dili jud makuan wala gid dili niya ma-identify kinsa ni inflict sa pinaka-serious nga harm mo na cause sa death sa victim is if ang diri is tanan sila mahimong liable, but in its medium and maximum period shall be imposed upon of those who shall use to violence upon person. So medium lang na kuan medium na punish lang ihata sila na impose upon sa mga individual na inflict sa harm sa tumultuous affair. What are the elements? That there be a several persons, so not an organized group or any one or two, but a several persons. That they did not compose groups organized for the common purpose of the something. So wala sila ni form o group nga ilang purpose is i-assault nila ako sa katawo or sa pagkagrupo. But these several persons quarreled and assaulted one another in a confused and tumultuous manner. So dili nga part is dili gyud kanang sudden na siya ba nga nagkaaway sila mga grupo-grupo ba na or several person, one or four, na siya nga dili gyud nang nagkalit na gyud ilang pag-away. Dahil dili nimo ma-identify kinsa jud ang ni-inflict sa harm. That someone was killed in the course of the affairs, of course, there is also a death, na result of death, na ay napatay sa ilahang inilang tumultuous manner na pag-quarrel. That it cannot be ascertained who actually killed the deceased. Of course, dili tayo ma-identify kinsa jud ang sa kadagan o sa libog na ba nga kinsa jud ni-inflict sa pinaka-bugat ng heart. So, these are the elements of those para ma-identify na to ang usa ka crime na tumultuous afraid. So A assisted by some laborers who's gathering tobacco. Then they heard two sounds of horn. And the later scenario. So diri si A daw sa laborers, then duha ka car nga niabot, then gahorn sila. Then ang ilang pag-horn is ilang gi-attack ang mga laborers. And then, from the moment na namatay ang usa ay natumba na ang duha, from the moment they saw the laborers fall into the ground, so na natalak ng duha or nang sa grabe na may lagin flag, naada yun ni ni busina. And then, ni-withdraw silang tanan tapos ng lakaw. So, mga grupo sila, dahil nagplano with silang assaulted. So, is this an example of tumultuous afraid? So, no siya. Because when there are two identified groups of men who assaulted each other, then there is no tumultuous afraid. Duwaman sila ka-grupo. Then there is also a purpose na ilang yung, naman sila nag-warn man sila, diba? Na ilang i-assault na sila ng mga individual. So, there is no crime of death in tumultuous afraid if the quarrel, well-known groups, so well-known groups man said sila. So, kato siya example is that an example of tumultuous afraid, death and tumultuous afraid. Example, 4 accused on one hand, fought against 3 other person. So, naigupad ka-accused, ilang nag-fight sila against sa tulog ka persons. On the other, one of whom was mortally wounded. So, ang usa is critical ang iyang wound nga natamo. But it did not appear who inflicted the wound. So, dili din ma-identify kinsa joy pinaka-kuan nga inflict sa wound, pinaka-buat or pinaka-grabe. There was confusion in the fight. So, makalibog ang fight nila. The 4 accused did not help one another in attacking the injured person. So, di naman sila maingon nga. Sila gudtanan ni tabang ra ng usa ka individual. So, it means mix sila mapag-away. So, this is the best example of the death in tumultuous afraid. The accused were guilty of death caused in tumultuous afraid. Why? And as the person who inflicted the wounds could not be identified. So, why? Because the person who inflicted the wounds dili man should ma-identify. They were all liable under the second paragraph of the Decretum because they all used guns. But, although dili nila ma-identify kinsa kini-inflict sa wound, but from the moment na sila tanan, so sila tanan liable or accountable sa crime, which is sila magtanan ang use of violence. In this case, although the 4 person in one hand, so you might ask, ano man nga dili siya kuan nga murag 4 naman sila, pwede naman siya ma-form mo group, diba? But in one hand and the 3 person, on the other, seem to form 2 groups. So, 2 groups naman silang magtabo. Such is not the case. So, dili din siya po nga mag-kuan ng kadra, mag-base ng kadra. Because there was no unity of the purpose. Dili ba sa nila purpose ba? Wala sila unity nga. Kana nga sa kataw, ilang tabangan. Kuan naman siya, mix naman ko doon, riot na sila. And the tension among the persons who used the violence. So, that is the best example or scenario for the death and tumultuous afraid. So, who are liable for death and tumultuous afraid? So, the persons or person inflicted with serious physical injuries are to be liable. So, of course, ang mga person na inflict sa harm, na silang liable. If it's not known to inflict the serious physical injuries of the deceased, all the person is so dili ma-identify kinsa nga 1 person ang kuanan ang di-inflict anang wound. So, sila tanan liable. And that's all. Thank you so much.